In this video, we are going to talk about when you should replace your AC unit. Are you replacing your unit too soon? Let's get into it.
Mechanics for non-mechanics.
How long should an AC system last? So I want to emphasize I am in Southwest Florida, okay? And so, I'm speaking from the experience of being in Florida. The thing is running all the time, especially during the summer, but I would say we have maybe a month or two, maybe a month where you can really just open up the doors completely and not have to worry about during the day turning on the air conditioning. So sometimes we just get a month per year, so basically that thing is running almost year round, and in the summer it's really running between, I would say, mid-May and mid-October. The average in Florida, from what I've seen, is about 10 to 12 years, okay? And I think manufacturers know that. That's why they make 10-year warranties, because they know they make, what do they call it? Made for obsolescence today. Back in the day, they used to make units to last, but now today they make them to break. So they know they got you after that 10-year period. You're out of warranty. You're going to have to start paying for everything out of pocket. And that's when stuff tends to break. So we tell our customers between 10 and 12 years, basically. Hey, if this video has been helpful for you so far, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications. It helps us reach a larger audience with these helpful videos. Let's get back into it. Now, there's other companies who try to come along and say, oh, no, basically if it's 7 years old or older, and something goes wrong on the system, they're going to sell you a new system. Even older than 5 years, they're going to say, you probably need a new system. And you're like, I still have a warranty on this. How do I need a new system? But they make a lot of money doing that. So yeah, in Florida, you get about 10 to 12 years. I've seen some other videos in other states where people last 20 years, and that's awesome. But they're probably not running that thing year round, in other cooler states. But in Florida, you generally get about 10 to 12 years out of the system. Now, I've seen them go longer than that. I've seen some that, I saw one from 1985. It was a few years ago. So that would have been, 15, almost 40 years. So I have seen them. There are, I've seen them over 12 years, 15 years, 18 years. Some of our customers we have, and we don't push the equipment because the way that my dad taught me, we make money either way. So we really don't need to push equipment. If it needs to be repaired, we repair it and we'll make money. And if we do a good job, then when it is time to replace, our customers are going to use us for that as well. So we really don't push selling equipment, but when it's that time, we install the equipment as well. So the 3 most critical questions to answer in terms of improving the life of your AC system to last maybe longer than 10 to 12 years is how the system is installed, okay, because not all installations are created equal. How it is maintained, and then how you run the unit. So let me break down each of those. How the unit is installed. There are a lot of very important things that need to be done on an installation. First of all, is the size of your unit the right size? How do you know what tonnage to put in to your house? If we did do a video on that, if you want to check that out, you can go right there for the tonnage that you should use. But there's a lot of things when we install a unit. If you're going from the old Freon R22 to the newer Freon R410A, because they came out with a brand new Freon this year. You might have to clean the line sets using R11, because R22 uses mineral oil and R410A uses POE, as does the newest Freon R454. So if you, and they say that if you mix mineral oil with POE oil, it's going to be damaging to the compressor. So if you had an R22 system, you call your AC guy, he comes in, puts an R410A system, and he doesn't clean out those lines, at least with nitrogen, flush them out, those oils are going to mix together and it's going to be damaging to your compressor. Another important thing is if the ductwork is not sized properly and you install, if it's undersized and you install a bigger unit, it's going to put strain on the blower motor. When you put the air handler in and you connect the plenum, if there's a big gap in there and you're sucking in attic insulation onto your coil, that's going to cause a problem. We're supposed to pull a vacuum right after you solder. If you don't pull a vacuum and instead you just solder and start things up from there, you might have non-condensables in your system, which is going to cause issues. If you solder but you're not using nitrogen through your line, you can build up carbon residues and deposits in there, which can be damaging to your system. So there's a lot of, I mean, I could go on and on. There's, if your unit is not level when you're installing the unit, you can have issues. So there's all kind of issues that are important when you are installing a unit. And so not all installations are created equal. It's very important for you to make sure that it's a reputable company when you're installing your unit. The next thing is maintenance. Are you doing maintenance, having maintenance done on your system once or twice a year? First of all, that keeps your warranty up to date. If you don't have maintenance done on your AC unit at least once a year, then if something goes wrong, the people who warranty that product for that unit are going to ask for paperwork that shows that you've been maintaining your unit. If you can't provide that paperwork, then guess what? You're not going to get potentially the warranty part that you think is under warranty. It's no longer under warranty because you haven't been maintaining your unit. And there's important things when they do maintenance on your unit to check for. They check the electrical components and make sure there's nothing low or something that could cause issues in the future. They check the breakers, make sure that they are sized properly. They check, wires, make sure there's not going to be any burning wires or burnt up wires. So they, change the filter, which you should be doing anyway, but I'll get to that. They clean out your drain line. All of these different things are very important to maintaining your AC unit and keeping it in tip-top shape to handle, especially here in Southwest Florida, these summers and this heat load that comes in. So maintenance is very important to do at least once a year. A lot of people do it twice a year. And then the third thing is, how are you running your AC system? Are you changing your filter or cleaning your filter, once a month or once every 2 months at the most? If you need a video on how to clean your filter, check that out right there. But if you have a dirty filter, guess what? That filter is sitting flat on your filter rack. But as soon as it starts to get dirt, it starts to go concave. And now instead of as that blower motor is pulling it, it's sucking up. And now the dirt is going to go past your filter onto your coil. And so now instead of just changing your filter out, now you're going to get a dirty coil, which is going to freeze up your unit. And potentially you're going to have to pay hundreds of dollars, if not more, thousands for some companies to have your coil taken out and cleaned properly and placed back in. So it's very important that you're changing your filter. Like I said, once a month, once every 2 months at the most, you have to be changing or cleaning your filter to maintain that unit. The other thing, are you running, in Florida, if you're running your system at 65 degrees, when it's 90 or 95 outside, that thing is going to have to run and run and run in order to try and keep up with that 65 degree temperature. And I know some of you are from the north and you're like, yeah, that's what I want. And I have some of the customers that keep it at 68, 69 degrees. And I just let them know that by running it that way, if you're even able to reach those temperatures, that unit is going to have to run much longer. It's a machine. So just like any machine, machines break over time. And so for someone who's running their house at 78 degrees, the unit's going to have to run a certain amount of time to get to that 78 degrees. But for someone who's trying to hit 68 or 65, that unit's going to have to run that much longer in order to keep up with that temperature every single day, day in and day out. It's going to have to run, say, twice as long to try and get to that 65 degree set point. And so it's going to, could potentially break twice as fast. And again, you want to be comfortable in your own house, but those are just things to consider that are potentially shortening the life of your AC system. I have customers that tell me, I get 20 years out of my, unit in wherever they're from. And I say, well, that's fine, but in Florida, this is what you can expect. Hey, if you want to know 4 ways to save thousands on AC costs, click on that video right there. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so we can let you know anytime we drop a video. Thanks so much. We'll see you in the next video.